Sparks on the road. The escape. I had no idea this little trip would change my life forever on a long summer day. The steering wheel shakes under my sweaty palms, the old Chevy's engine coughing like it's got a death wish. Highway 231 stretches out before me, a dusty gray scar slicing through Alabama's sunburned cotton fields. I'm supposed to be halfway to Pensacola Beach by now, sprawled on the sand with people I barely call friends, sipping cheap beer under the Florida sun. Not an ideal vacation. But Dad's whiskey binges drained my savings again, leaving me scraping tips at the diner to afford this trip. The memory claws at my chest. My dad stumbling around, drunk out of his mind. No one could have a peaceful time when he's like that. I'm 28, too old to fear my dad. Too old to be still taking care of him. The spring break is nonsense for a woman of my age, but Dothan's small town was suffocating me, and I needed to get out. The car sputters, a metallic groan warning the engine might quit. Come on, don't die on me now, I whisper, slamming the gas harder. The ride smooths out, and I take a relieved breath. The long road. The highway hums under the tires, flat fields blurring past, rows of cotton like white static against red dirt. I pass the Dollar General where I used to buy sour candies as a kid, its faded yellow sign peeling under the relentless sun. A billboard for a tractor dealership looms ahead, low rates. Scrawled in chipped red letters. My eyes sting from the glare, or maybe it's the frustration burning inside me. The AC is busted, so I crank the window down, hot air whipping my dark hair into a tangled mess. In the side mirror, my reflection shows tired green eyes, a smudge of mascara on my cheek. I look terrible. It feels like I've been struggling forever, and maybe I have. At least since my mother died when I was 9. A sudden heart failure. The stranger. A mile past the Florida state line, my heart jolts. A figure stumbles along the shoulder, arms flailing like some deranged scarecrow. His jacket's torn, dark hair matted with dirt, face streaked with grime. All the horror movies I've seen scream to keep driving, hitchhikers are bad news. Everyone in Dothan, Alabama knows that. But my foot eases off the gas, the car slowing to a crawl. It's a bad idea, Jenny, I mutter, pulse hammering. I still roll the passenger window down a crack. You, okay? My voice shakes, betraying me. He lurches toward the car, eyes wild but sharp, like they could see through walls. My bike flipped off-road, he says, voice clipped, urgent. Been waving for hours. You're the first to stop. The decision. His hands grip the window frame, knuckles scraped raw, blood crusted under his nails. I should floor it, leave him in the dust. Instead, I hesitate, my gut twisting. Where you headed? I ask, already regretting it. But there's something about him that commands attention. Atlanta, he says, and before I can respond, he yanks the passenger door open and slides in. The smell of earth and man fills the car. As he slumps into the seat, broad shoulders hunching under his torn jacket. His dark eyes flick over me, assessing, like he's reading my entire life in one glance. Drive. Now, he says, like he's holding a gun to my head. My hands tremble on the wheel. Excuse me? He doesn't flinch, just stares ahead, jaw tight under a layer of stubble. I'm late. Drive, woman. The argument. I'm not going to Atlanta, I snap, my voice sharper than I feel. I'm headed to Florida. To a beach. I can drop you to the next town. His head whips toward me, eyes narrowing, dark brows knitting together over a face that's all hard angles. You are turning toward Atlanta. I've got a meeting, and I'm not missing it. Your junker better not let me down. My cheeks burn, anger flaring. Get out, then. He doesn't budge, just leans back, crossing his arms, his torn sleeve revealing a glimpse of a lean, muscled forearm. Drive, or we're both stuck here. My foot hovers over the gas. Florida's not even a real plan, those friends won't care if I show up or not. I curse under my breath and turn north toward Georgia, the car rattling like it's mocking me. What the hell am I doing? The breakdown. The Chevy shudders violently, a grinding screech erupting from under the hood as we pass a faded "Welcome to Blakely" sign. I wince, gripping the wheel so tight my knuckles ache. Come on, baby, hold together. Don't let your Jenny down, I mutter. It's not your baby, he scoffs, slouching deeper into the seat, his muddy boots scuffing my floor mat. This thing's a road hazard. You're lucky it hasn't exploded. My jaw clenches so hard it hurts. It's all I've got, okay? Waitressing doesn't exactly pay for a Mercedes. His eyes flick over me, lingering on my frayed jeans and faded tank top, like he's sizing up my entire existence. My skin prickles under his gaze, and I hate it for feeling a sense of shame. We roll through Blakely's sleepy main street, red brick storefronts, a diner with a flickering neon sign, an old man in overalls pumping gas into a rusted pickup. He is covered with dirt, but he still manages such authority. For some reason, I'm so aware of him. No one has made me feel so off balance. "You're all right," he whispers and rubs the mascara off my cheek. His touch is so gentle. For a strange reason, I want to cry as my pulse spikes. The silence. The engine whines as we climb a small hill, peanut fields sprawling on either side, their green rows shimmering in the heat. I keep my eyes on the road, but I feel him watching me. My body squirms, unable to get comfortable. The silence stretches, thick and heavy, broken only by the car's rattles. "Why Florida?" he asks suddenly, his voice softer, almost curious. I swallow, keeping my focus on the highway. Needed to get out. Home situation. Not great. He doesn't push, just nods, and the air shifts, charged with something I can't name. My pulse quickens, and I tell myself it's just stress. But when I glance at him, his eyes catch mine, dark and piercing, and a jolt runs through me, electric and dangerous. The revelation. "Have you heard about me?" he asks. An annoying passenger who was riding with me uninvited. I give him a hard glare, and he just laughs. "My name is Henry Caldwell," he says. I give him a confused look. "You can't be serious." He sounds a bit hurt. Then I remember, and my stomach drops. Henry Caldwell, the tech mogul, face on Forbes covers, all sharp cheekbones and piercing eyes. I sneak a glance, and beneath the dirt and torn clothes, I see it, the square jaw, the intense stare. He's no hobo. "Bike accident," he continues, gesturing to his disheveled state. "And you thought I was making that up," he smirks. I sputter. "Now you're my ride to a deal in Atlanta. Worth millions." My grip tightens on the wheel. "And you're trusting me to get you there?" He snorts, a flash of charm cutting through the grime, his teeth glinting. "You stopped. That's enough." My heart races, and I don't know if it's fear or something else. The big city. The highway hums as we approach Atlanta, the skyline rising like a mirage, all glass and steel glinting in the late afternoon sun. We pass through suburbs with tidy lawns and strip malls, the car coughing harder now. Since his revelation, my edginess has only increased. If I had known, I wouldn't have stopped. It's much simpler to help a person who's struggling. "Why didn't you call someone to help you?" I ask, sounding annoyed. "I'm self-sufficient." I remember he was an orphan when very young and felt bad for bringing that up. Henry has become quiet, staring out the window, his fingers drumming on his knee. I pull up to a sleek glass building downtown, its reflective surface blinding. He steps out, brushing dirt off his torn jacket, and for a moment, he looks almost human, not some untouchable billionaire. "Thanks," he says, the word clipped, reluctant. His eyes linger on me, dark and unreadable, and my breath catches. He leans into the window, our lips only an inch apart. His masculine sense surrounds me. I have a feeling he's thinking of kissing me, but then he says, "Don't die in that death trap." He nods at the Chevy, then pulls back, breaking the moment. "Ha," I force a laugh, rolling my eyes. No promises. Watching him go, I feel a sense of loss. Our paths would never meet again, and he'll forget me as soon as his meeting starts. The return. Back in Dothan, the diner's fluorescent lights buzz over my head as I pour coffee for truckers and locals, their faces weathered, grizzled beards, tired eyes, plaid shirts stained with grease. Florida never happened, the car barely made it home, and my friends didn't even text. This morning, Dad had passed out on the couch again in our mildewed trailer, his flannel shirt stained, reeking of cheap liquor. His gray hair a mess, his face bloated and red. When would it end? The walls close in, making me feel claustrophobic. My car is worse now, stalling everywhere. So, no escape from my personal hell. And I shove down the frustration, the gnawing sense of life slipping away. Henry's face flashes in my mind, those eyes, that smirk. I shake it off, scrubbing a counter until my hands burn. I'm doomed to live a meaningless existence. There's no way to break this depressing cycle. The visitor. The diner's bell jingles, and I glance up, expecting another regular in a trucker cap. My heart skips a beat. It's him, Henry, cleaned up, in a tailored navy suit that hugs his broad shoulders, his dark hair neatly combed, stubble gone. He looks like he stepped out of a magazine, all sharp lines and quiet power. His eyes lock on mine, intense, like he's been searching for me. "Jenny?" he says, sliding into a booth, movements unhurried and deliberate. My hands shake as I grab the coffee pot. What are you doing here? I manage, my voice barely steady. He smiles, slow and deliberate, like he knows something I don't. Thought I'd check if you made it back alive. How did you find me? I ask, and he smirks. Never mind, I mumble because tracking me down would have been easy for him. Happiness blooms in my heart, unbidden and unexpected. The tension. He orders coffee, black, and watches me work, his gaze heavy, like a physical touch. The diner's regulars, a grizzled man with a gray beard, a woman in a faded floral dress, steal glances, whispering. You work here? Henry asks, like it's a revelation. Yeah, I snap, wiping the counter harder than necessary. Problem? Why am I getting angry? It bothers me that he sees my pitiful existence. There's nothing to feel shame. It's an honest living. I take a deep breath. His lips twitch, amused, showing a hint of white teeth. The air crackles between us, igniting a fire. My boss, a heavy-set woman with a permanent scowl and a tight gray bun, shoots me a look, and I know I'm on thin ice. I want to tell him to leave, but my traitor heart races in his company. Persistence. Henry comes back the next day. And the next. Always the same booth, same coffee, same piercing stare that makes my skin hum. Doesn't he have an empire to run? He asks about my life, why I stay in Dothan, what I want. I dodge, muttering about bills and family, but he leaves $100 tips, and I can't afford to refuse them. He has a way not to make me feel embarrassed. When I walk out of the diner after my early shift, Henry is waiting for me. Hop in, he says. Thinking about my depressing home, I get into his car. He smiles as if he has won a prize. I realize I'm looking forward to his visits, despite myself. And it'll end in tears. Stop coming here, I finally say, exasperated. He leans toward me, his cologne, something crisp, expensive, filling the space between us. Make me, he says, voice low, challenging. My breath catches. The car feels too small, too warm. Where are we going? I murmur. He lands a soft kiss over my forehead, then straightens. Nowhere special. I have a great time driving around in his super expensive car. We eat greasy burgers on the go, just enjoy each other's company. The confession. It's late, after closing when I hear him enter. The diner's empty, the air heavy with the scent of bleach and stale coffee. Why are you still here? I demand and toss a rag on the counter. He comes over, standing too close, his height overwhelming, his suit jacket brushing my arm. Because you didn't ask for anything, he says, his voice raw, unguarded. Not money, not favors. You just helped. His honesty cuts through me, open and disarming. I step back, heart pounding. You don't know me, I whisper. He tilts his head, eyes softening, his dark lashes framing a gaze that sees too much. I want to. My chest tightens, and I'm drowning in the weight of his words. I can't get you out of my head. Me too, I murmur, my voice breathy. He kisses me softly and carefully as if I were precious. His hands run all over my body, making me shiver deliciously. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, he murmurs in my ear. My blood hums with need, and I press my body against him. He just holds me. I'm at peace after an eternity. The rescue. Shouting erupts outside the diner, shattering the quiet. We step apart. Dad's voice is slurred and vicious. My heart sinks. Jenny. Get out here. Henry gives me a puzzled look. My father is in one of his moods, I mumble, straightening my clothes. My stomach twists, he's going to act foolish in front of Henry. Dad is inside, drunk, waving a bottle like a weapon. His graying hair is wild, his face red and bloated, flannel shirt half untucked, eyes bloodshot. I freeze, the rag slipping from my hand. He looks worse than I imagine. Give me the money, Jenny. Before I can react, Henry is there, stepping between us, his frame a wall. Back off, he says, voice like steel, his eyes blazing. Dad lunges, bottle raised, but Henry is faster, grabbing his wrist and pinning him against the diner's brick wall. You don't touch her, he growls, low and lethal. Dad stumbles back, muttering curses, and disappears into the dark. Henry turns to me, his face softening, concern in his eyes. You, okay? I nod, trembling, my throat tight. He takes my hand, warm and steady. Come with me. Let's get out of this town, Jenny. His luxury sedan waits outside, the engine humming smoothly. After a pause, I follow him. Happy to leave this depressing life. I don't know where we're going, Atlanta, Florida, somewhere else entirely, but I slide into the passenger seat, Henry behind the wheel. We pull onto the highway, the lights of Dothan fading behind us. The road ahead is dark, but the sparks between us light the way.
Thank you for listening. Please subscribe, share, and like to help my channel.